Hey everyone, welcome back to the We're Looking at Lucid. Lucid adds 478 registration in August for the 8-month tally of 4,267. The EV startup has a production goal of more than 10,000 Air sedan this year. On Sunday, it launched a performance Sapphire trim starting at $250,000 with shipping. Lucid typically reports its delivery numbers around the 12th or 13th of the month following the end of the quarter. The lack of update from the company has led to speculation. In jest, a Tesla influencer using the handle Holzmar's blog suggested Lucid deliveries were so good they didn't want to announce them. And I can just hear the sarcasm in that quote. I don't know if you can, but I think we can all hear the sarcasm in that quote. Lucid has faced teething problems since it started to produce its luxury EV called Air. With deliveries beginning around October 30th, 2021, the company has encountered execution issues, particularly relating to supply chain disruptions in the early times around COVID. So demands for Lucid higher price EVs have been lukewarm due to the economical uncertainties following the Federal Reserve rate tightening, which began in March 2022, and the aggressive price cut initiated by Tesla in 2023 affecting the entire EV market. Now, if I can just be completely honest with everyone, the problem is Lucid is offering an extremely expensive vehicle, and that's the only vehicle they're offering. Now, if Lucid were to offer a cheaper vehicle, around $40,000 to $50,000, they'd be selling a lot more of those vehicles. The audience, the target audience to buy a $50,000 vehicle, a $40,000 vehicle, those audience compared to the tiny audience that can buy a $100,000 vehicle or a $250,000 vehicle, that's the Lucid Air Sapphire. Now, let me explain this. If this car had a Tesla logo instead of a Lucid, it would be selling a lot more, an extreme amount. If this vehicle had a Porsche badge instead of a Lucid, again, it would be selling a lot more. Look at how well the Porsche Taycan has performed in market sales for Porsche. It's been an extremely huge success. I've actually considered about getting one of those vehicles in the future. Seriously, I actually kind of like the Porsche Taycan. Not just kinda. I like it. I cannot deny it. I do like that vehicle. And it's been great for Porsche, but Porsche offers other vehicles. And Porsche is an extremely well-known brand, one of the biggest brands in the world as a motor brand, as a motor car company. Porsche is way up there with Ferrari, Lamborghini. They're in that luxury category that's very difficult to take part in. And as you can see, Polestar has decided to take part in that market. Lucid has also decided to take part in that market. So why is Polestar delivering more vehicles than Lucid? Good question. And let's look at the luxury side. Both Polestar and Lucid, they offer extremely luxurious EVs. They're beautiful, inside and out. And let's be honest, with the interior of the Lucid Air compared to the interior of the Polestar 2, Lucid wins without a doubt. Don't get me wrong, it gets a little bit difficult to beat Polestar when it comes to the Polestar 5 concept or the Polestar 3 or 4. Those get a little bit more luxurious. And of course, the Polestar 6 is just incredibly amazing. But Polestar is offering a vehicle around $40,000, £40,000. That's the Polestar 2. So their target audience is a lot larger. And they are everywhere in the UK and around Europe, the Polestar vehicles. I've seen Polestar vehicles in France, and Polestars are not being sold in France, but people have driven them from different areas in Europe to the French country. Why are Polestars not allowed in France? It's a long story. It's a lawsuit with Citroën. We don't really know how it ended, but I'm guessing it's not ended pretty well because Polestar is not selling in France, and I know they'd love to sell in France. But Lucid, on the other hand, there's nowhere close to the prestigious brand appreciation that Porsche has. So trying to sell a vehicle for $250,000 or even $100,000, it's an incredibly difficult task. In fact, for the early days of Tesla, that's what Tesla was doing. They were selling more expensive vehicles at the start. But Tesla, however Tesla made that miracle work, it's incredible. And I believe, in my opinion, the Tesla Model S at the time was cheaper than the Lucid Air currently. I might be wrong. At the time, for that price range, for the Model S, it was the only electric car offering those kind of mileage. and those kind of sophisticated driving technology. It was the only option. It was the obvious option, and it was the only option. I'm talking about the early days of EVs. I'm talking about 2012, 2013, even 2014. Mercedes and BMW weren't building a lot of EVs back then. Audi wasn't building a lot of EVs. Audi still is catching up. I would say Audi is doing well at catching up because I really love the e-tron, which is basically using the same chassis as the Porsche Taycan. I really love both of those vehicles. There's something about the chassis, there's something about the shape. It's incredible. Lucid doesn't have the prestigious brand quality as Audi, Mercedes, BMW. If it did, it would be selling a lot more models, and it also doesn't have the infrastructure. Mercedes, BMW, Audi, they have the infrastructure to sell all across the globe. They've built that up over years. They have the support system as well. Mercedes have the support system of Mercedes and Daimler. BMW is its own thing. BMW owns Rolls-Royce. They've got their own infrastructure, but it's pretty damn strong. And BMW cars are just, they sell themselves. They literally sell themselves. You know, you don't really have to sell a BMW car. They just sell themselves. Similar thing with Mercedes, similar thing with Aldi's. They sell themselves because they've built that over time. Lucid has come into a market and it's incredibly more competitive now. It's not like the early days of Tesla where you only had one choice. Now you have severals. You've got Polestar, who's offering a great EV at probably half the price Lucid is offering their Lucid Air for at the basic price. But also don't forget, there's also the Model S. There's also the Model 3, the Model Y. So there's those other obvious options that tend to be the clear options. That, you know, Tesla in this market is the Apple of the EV market. I don't quite know where to put Lucid, to be honest. Lucid makes great cars, don't get me wrong. The technology is incredible. They make incredibly cars. I think their vehicles are faster than Tesla's right now. In fact, like the Sapphire Edition, I think is probably faster than the Tesla Plaid. But still, it's not selling nowhere as well, and it cannot sell anywhere as well right now as the Tesla. Tesla has built up this Apple-like cult following, and it's going to serve them extremely well. What Tesla has is a moat, an advantage in the market, and they've earned it. They've earned that advantage. Lucid doesn't have that. Lucid started a little bit too late, in my opinion. If Lucid started around the same time Tesla was starting, if they were selling their Lucid Air around the same time the Model S was being sold, it's a different story. They could have shared the market a bit more. But it's not just Lucid. Other EV makers were also late to the party. But now they're slowly starting to catch up. And to be honest, it's about time. So yeah, Lucid is in a particular interesting situation. So Lucid cheapest EV, the sedan, the Air Pure, starts at $77,400, making it a challenge to increase sale volumes. Now actually, that price is actually not too bad. But once again, there's other vehicles out there that are cheaper and similar price that are Mercedes, BMW, Audis. There are Polestars, there's Porsche Taycans. There's other vehicles out there, especially if you consider secondhand. You know, there's the market is just more competitive, and not to mention Lucid majority market right now is the US. While they still haven't fully launched in Europe, they've slowly tried to launch in Europe, but they haven't fully launched in Europe. And what about the Asian market as well? They haven't fully launched there either, so they're missing out on a lot of revenue, a lot of sales, a lot of capital. Similar thing with Rivian. Rivian is prominently in the United States. When are they going to branch out? Perhaps when they build the next Rivian vehicles. I think those are like the R2, which I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to the platform, what they're going to design, what they're going to build, and where they're going to offer these vehicles. Because I do like Rivian. I like the brand. I like the company. I like the leadership. I like the technology that they're designing. I like the vehicles. I like Rivian. I do. I think it's a little bit pricey, but I still like the company. They delivered, 20,000 last year? They're looking to deliver, 50,000 vehicles this year? They're catching up. Rivian is catching up. Now, if Lucid was doing as well as Rivian, completely different sentiment. I'd be a lot happier. Not to mention, I'd be a lot more bullish. Not to mention, Lucid is also bringing an SUV to the market, the Lucid Dream, which I'm happy to see. But they're taking their time. And don't get me wrong, nothing's wrong with taking your time. If Lucid is trying to build high premium value vehicles They're trying to do what Apple has done in the smartphone market. If that's what Lucid plans to do, it's a very complicated market. This is a very capital intensive market. You know, when Apple started offering the iPhone, they were already selling other products. And then the iPhone became the biggest sell product. But they also offer other products, MacBooks, displays, computers. Apple is offering so much. They're diversifying their portfolio. They got a TV service now. They've got their own streaming service. Apple is always coming out with new series on their TV service, honestly, and they've got the capital to compete with Disney and Netflix. Obviously, they're not competing on the same level, probably in third, fourth row. There's also some other streaming services, but Apple is the one that can take their time, and they don't need to rush into it because their business isn't a streaming service. The streaming service just supports the ecosystem of the Apple ecosystem, which is why it's great to be an Apple investor. So if Lucid intends to take a similar route, they have to have a plan. You know, Porsche sells few vehicles, but at a very expensive margin. But Porsche has the support of VW. Porsche kinds of own VW and VW kinds of own Porsche. It's a very strange relationship. I'm not going to go into it. Ferrari sells a low volume of vehicles. The market value for the company and for the vehicles are incredibly high. Ferrari is one of those automotive shares that I really want to invest in. And I have invested a little bit in this share. I bought maybe $5, $10 once just to watch the performance. And I've determined that I need to pay more attention to Ferrari. Whenever we have dips, like towards the end of September last month, we had a little bit of a dip in Ferrari. That was a great time to buy. And I did buy, but I didn't buy much. I bought like $5, $10. So again, it's pretty damn strong. It's gone from strength to strength, and it's only increasing its value. And back in December 2018, the price was less than $98. It's worth 3 times as much now. Quite literally. Right now the market cap is roughly around 57 billion in euros. Around the end of 2018, the market cap must have been around, you're looking at 17, 18 billion in market cap. 57 billion now. What the hell? What the actual hell? So I'm not underestimating Ferrari. Porsche is another one. Porsche has recently IPO'd and their market cap is already incredibly high at around 41 billion in Europe in euros. I don't want to underestimate this company. I do want to invest in Porsche, but I'm a little bit more skeptical because there's not a lot of trade in history. There's not a lot. There's, in fact, barely any trade in history in this company. There's almost a year's worth of trade in history in this company. And I'd say this is probably a good time to buy. I'd probably just buy one share. I probably wouldn't buy much. It's a similar thing that I have with Ferrari. I'd probably only buy one share for now, just to keep track of it. But I do intend to buy more. As I get more capital, I intend to invest more. But I want to invest at times when the price is right. And there's going to be more dips. But this is what I mean. These are the companies where they can build whatever they want and price it at whatever they want, and they still make incredible amount of money. The new Ferrari FUV, yes, I said FUV. It's not an SUV. It's a Ferrari utility vehicle, an FUV. This car is costing around $500,000 for an SUV. It's not the largest SUV. It's not like a Land Rover. It's not even like a Range Rover. The price is mind-boggling and it's selling like crazy. That's the power of Ferrari. And the share prices just keeps on going up. So these companies can do whatever they want. Lucid can't. So Lucid will need the support of another vehicle company maker. Just like how Polestar has the support of Geely and Volvo. This is why Polestar is perfectly situated to sell premium EVs, but also selling more affordable EVs like the Polestar 2. The Polestar 4 is coming out next year. And the Polestar 3 is a bit more expensive, Polestar 5 is a bit more expensive, and the Polestar 6 way more expensive. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think about Lucid and the news around Lucid. I just think that they need a support system. Apple needs to buy Lucid. I'm so curious why Apple hasn't bought Lucid. Perhaps it's because the Saudi investment firm is already invested in Lucid, and they probably don't want to get into a critical condition in that realm. It's only a matter for time. Thank you for watching today. Subscribe to see more. Leave a like, leave a comment, And I look forward to seeing you in my next investment videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.